Hi, I'm making this video for students. Uh, we are going to talk about dangling and misplaced modifiers. This is either something that we've talked about in class or something that we will be talking about. So hopefully you find this helpful. And just as a reminder, really the problem with dangling and misplaced modifiers is lack of clarity. You want, when you're speaking or when you're writing, you want people to understand what you're saying. And the same is true when you're reading. You want to be able to understand what you're reading, and when grammar mistakes are made like these, it makes it really hard for somebody to understand uh, what you're saying. So beginning with dangling modifiers, my definition is a dangling modifier is a descriptive phrase that is missing the thing or person it wants to describe. So an example, without her glasses, the writing on the wall was blurry. This is a dangling modifier because that phrase, without her glasses, it wants to describe a girl, but there is no girl in the sentence. All we have is writing and a wall and glasses. There's no her. So to fix this, to fix a dangling modifier, we're going to have to add something. Without her glasses, Macy thought that the writing on the wall was blurry. So we add a person or a thing for the phrase to describe, and the modifier is no longer dangling. Misplaced modifiers are slightly different, but similar. It's a descriptive phrase that's just not close enough to the thing or person it wants to describe. So the person might still be in the sentence, but it is removed from the modifier. An example, the man ate the pizza with a mustache. Now, obviously, with a mustache is wanting to describe the man and not the pizza. But if you look at the sentence, that phrase is closer to pizza than it is to the man. So it's actually, as it is right now, describing the pizza. So this is a little bit easier to correct. All we need to do is rearrange. We don't need to add anything. We just need to move parts around so that the modifier is closer to the person or thing it wants to describe. Let's look at one more example of each. Taking a test is not difficult when well rested and prepared. So I'll tell you that this is a dangling modifier. So at this point, I want you to think of a solution for this. Remember that with a dangling modifier, you have to add something. You have to add a person or a thing that is being described. So pause the video here, try to think of a solution for this error, and when you do, continue watching. So if you did what I asked and you wrote down a solution, it could be any number of things. There are a variety of solutions. The one that I came up with is taking a test is not difficult when a student is well rested and prepared. So you'll see I added the words a student is. I added the person being described. The well rested and prepared was the modifier that was dangling. So let's look at a misplaced modifier. Ruined by a broken assembly machine, the worker had to discard the product. So again, pause the video, try to come up with a solution on your own, and when you've done that, continue watching. Okay, genuinely, I'm not sure how many of you guys are actually doing that, but if you did, thank you. Here is my solution, and again, you might have come up with something slightly different, and that's okay. My solution, the worker had to discard the product that had been ruined by a broken assembly machine. So I took the ruined by a broken assembly machine, moved it to the end of the sentence so that it's closer to the product, because that's what it's trying to describe. The worker is not ruined by a broken assembly machine, hopefully. I think we're describing the product, so we need to move the modifier closer to the product. So hopefully this video has been helpful for you. Again, this is a review of something that we've talked about in class or will be talking about in class. So I know I moved quickly, but I hope that this has been helpful, and